But on a night when you do something that, as you say, is kind of final and forever, like, do you encourage your team to have a moment where they just sort of soak in and appreciate this has never happened before? Whatever you accomplish from here, you've done something historic.
Well, believe it or not, I don't control every thought, action, and habit of our team or coaches. There's a lot of celebrating going on in that locker room right now. There's a lot of cigars being smoked, and they're having a good old time. And but they also understand that they get to enjoy it for 24 hours. And you know, it's a great night in the end for our fan base, our alums, our loyal supporters, everybody that cares about Indiana. You know, this is something that a lot of people probably thought couldn't happen. And it just goes to show you when you have a commitment and a plan, you have the right people in place, you know, anything's possible. So here we are, but more work to be done.
Who's on your left and Matt?
What's it been like though? I mean, Aiden Fisher, first thing he does, he gets the bucket, you know, runs with the team, then runs over to you. And those James, you guys have had a lot of these moments. I mean, does that make you emotional that these guys followed you, came with you, and trusted you, and you know, they've risen to these heights now in 2 years?
I guess it could if I dwelt on it. I don't have time really. There's so many things that I'm involved with when the game ends. I did happen to notice that, and had a special moment with Tyree Tucker, who, you know, is somebody that I've known for a long time. And you know, so they've had a lot of great seasons. Yeah, they have, and we have together. But it's, you know what, it's our first undefeated regular season. We've had a lot of one-loss seasons. But you know, this is a team. Everybody that contributed to this, from the president to the athletic director, his staff, the assistant coaches, all the support staff, and the players, their hard work. Players who graduated last year and played a role to make this happen and carry that kind of momentum and credibility forward. It's something that everybody played a part in, and certainly our tremendous fans.
Matt on your left and Pete.
Coach, again, run game, just keep wearing them down. Eventually the game breaks. You break their will. Passing game was maybe not as sharp, you know, early on. Just your thoughts on that, on the O-line and the run game, especially with some moving parts there on the O-line. Go out there,
Yeah.
355 yards rushing.
Well, you know, when you play in these kind of conditions, it sure helps run the football, right? And you know, like people talk about, defense travels, run game travels too, especially in these kind of conditions. And the pass game took a while, and really never quite was on point. But the run game sure was good. A lot of explosive plays, and the defense got some turnovers for us, and Purdue couldn't find the end zone, and special teams were solid. So it was a good all-around team win.
Peter on your left and Ravi.
Yeah, hey, Curt, just the performance of Stephen Daly, he was dominant, especially early on.
Yeah, Daly's a guy that just keeps getting better and better and better. And there's another guy, I've known him for a long time, was in our camp at JMU, ran sub 4.4, 4.4, low 4.400, 40-yard dash in camp, 232 pounds, about 6% body fat at the time. And, you know, he was a sub 10, 800-meter guy in high school. And he played at a really small high school, and then he went to Kent State. And so, you know, he came here this summer, you know, he committed to us a few months before that. It's like he hadn't done anything. You know, he came in out of shape, but, you know, he's got the type of body, and, you know, 2-3 weeks he was back in pretty good shape. But, you know, he's getting the kind of development now through, you know, nutrition, strength and conditioning, coaching, that kind of thing, where you really see him start to blossom. You know, wish we had him for another year or two, but we don't. And you know, he's a key player for us right now.
Ravi in front and Jim.
Coach, what is it about this group that made them capable of 12-0?
I don't know. I'm not sure I have the answer to that. You know, there's a lot of multiples and dynamics that go into that. I think the Illinois game was a big game for us. We had our eyes on them. We were kind of lurking in the weeds, so to speak, after last year. You know, we'd gotten hammered so badly because of how we played against Ohio State and Notre Dame. You know, we didn't talk about it. It was there. was coming to town and they were getting hyped up. And they were number 9 in the country and we were ready. And then from then on, we found a way. You know, when the games got tight at the end, we found a way to win. The quarterback made the plays, receivers made the plays, the defense made the plays. So, you know, we are where we are, and there's some tough challenges ahead, but this is a team that got in the game.
Jim on your left and Daniel.
Curt, you alluded to it in the beginning of, was it possible, 12-0 in Indiana, I'm assuming, but as you look around the landscape, there's not very many 12-0 teams. How difficult is it, period, to go 12-0 in college football today, much less in the Big Ten?
It's really hard, and especially at the P4 level. Man, I think there's only about 5 Big Ten teams that have gone undefeated in the regular season since 2000. It's 26 years, 25, 26 years. Ohio State a couple of times, Michigan once, Oregon once. And that's it. Indiana now, has that games.
Daniel in front and Zach.
I think from last year and now, you guys are now, have outscored them 122-3. Do you take pride in that? Just how do you feel about that?
No, I mean, it's a rival game that's important. First of all, it's a game on our schedule. And every game's important. It's a rival game that means a lot to our lungs. So, you know, the water cooler on Monday, so to speak, right? The fact that we've outscored them like we have, it's just the fact of where we're at and where they're at right now. You know, they're gonna get better. There's no doubt in my mind, they're gonna get better. Coach is gonna do a great job of improving that roster and coaching that football team. And you know, they just sort of hit rock bottom. It timed up with my arrival. And we've had 2 nice nights against them.
Zach on your right, we'll wrap with Mike.
Coach, you talked about not seeing the improvement you wanted to from Penn State to Wisconsin. How much of tonight was solely focused on seeing that improvement that you didn't see?
That was the entire message today to the staff and the team. Is you know, do we still have killer instinct? Can we play for one another as a team? We don't have a lot of selfishness on this team, but anytime you have 105 players or so, right? Can we leave that in the locker room? Let them show up on the field. Can we get the receivers blocking downfield, play in, play out? Can we get our safeties lining up with a sense of urgency? Everybody busting everybody on special teams. And I'm sure it wasn't perfect. I know it wasn't perfect, but you know, it was a good night. And the whole deal was we wanted to walk out of this game with an exclamation point and not a question. And we did.
Mike, throw 2 on your right, last one.
Coach, another first time ever is gonna be the Big Ten championship game. You sat in Lucas Oil Stadium a year ago and said you were gonna get the team there. It's a year later, you've done it. How does that feel?
We're a year late. It'll be a great game.
All right, thanks guys. We'll bring players over here.
Thanks, guys.